What's up, guys? It's Jahia, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Have This Hard Conversation, where we talk about all things hard conversations. Because who's gonna talk about that shit with you? Oh wait. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. But today we're gonna be talking about your choices and decisions. And what prompted this conversation was a friend really told me that he had an interaction with someone, and he was like, this person is going to try to blame everything that they chose up to this point on me. And I thought that was so interesting, and I also thought it was so profound because I agree. I think you have to be very, 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 very conscious of what you decide to do, the choices that you make in your life, because the truth is, at the end of the day, you're going to have to live up with the choices and decisions that you made for yourself, right? So, a lot of people don't understand that you take a lot of risk in the world, and the risk are your choices. Your choices determine what direction you're going to go. And through every single choice, kind of directs a different type of life you can have. So it's almost like you have two different versions of yourself is trying to come out. And whatever decision or choice you make is going to determine what version of yourself it's going to have a chance to thrive, and another side of yourself that's going to be hidden, a version that you're always going to wish and desire and yearn for. So the example that I can use is like a person is going through life, and then there is an opportunity there that they could take, but they have to make a decision. If they don't make the opportunity, obviously they're going to miss out on the opportunity. But if they do take the opportunity, it could change their life. So your whole life is made up of choices. And that's the risk of life. The risk of life is you basically making decisions. And these decisions that you make, there is a risk, there is a chance that it might not work out. You get into relationships, it might not work out. You get a job, it might not work out. There are things that just might not work out, and that's the risk that you take. And so when this friend said that, I thought it was so good because I'm like, that is the gist of life. That life is literally you making choices, hoping and praying that it works out in your favor. And the best thing you can try to do is use your discernment, but you're not sure. You're not sure if a person is good for you. You're not sure if the job is good for you. You're not sure if the things that you are doing is the correct thing to do. You just don't know. You just don't know. And it's just about discernment. And then I also tell people it's like favor isn't fair. For some people, they really feel like they're not lucky or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But they're like, oh, I'm not lucky, woo woo woo. And to a certain extent, I could believe that because favor isn't fair. When you make decisions, you don't know. And you just hope that it works out. But you're not sure. So yeah, I thought that was such an interesting thing because I truly, truly, truly believe that. And that's why I really vet people out. I really try my best to stay on a narrow path when it comes to stuff like that because you really don't know what the outcome can be, and you're really not sure if this is actually going to benefit you in long term, on the long term thing. And what I tell people what to do is watch people, listen, use your discernment, be aware of what people say, how they say it, how they conduct themselves when they talk about their past experiences. How are they talking about their past experiences when they talk about a person like you or a person that they've interacted with in the past? You have to really be cautious of that because people really don't change, especially as we get older. People are not really changing. They're not changing like that. And you really can't teach a new dog. You can't teach a old dog new tricks. Like, that's a real saying, because you really can't teach people new stuff. They have to make a change. And usually when people make changes, it's a drastic. They make changes because they literally, it's like something that terribly happened in their life. You know what I'm saying? They're not making changes because they're comfortable. They're making changes because their life has drastically changed. You see what I'm saying? Even me, like, I don't really make too many changes unless my life, like, I really have to, you know? So I think that that counts for something. So just paying attention, being conscious of that. And I think you should take ownership of your life. I think you should take ownership of your life. I don't think you should wait for people to approve of you and to accept you. That's something that's just delusional. There is no way that people are going to love you fully 110%. And because people are fleeting. Their feelings are fleeting. They love you one day, they hate you the next. They ride with you tonight, they leave you the next morning. It's an unpredictable world. There's no certainty that the people that's in your life is going to stay. There is no certainty that the people in your life is going to be there forever. And people die, or the job or the opportunity, right? So it's all about what's important to you. I tell people, even if you have people in your life, the best thing for you to do is to put yourself first always. You always have to put yourself first. And you need to be self-centered. You need to be self-centered. You need to center yourself because you are at the center of your universe, right? And people don't like that. People want you to sacrifice your life. They want you to do stupid shit just so they can benefit off of who you are. But we not doing that over here. We not. Okay? We not. We not. I tell people all the time, like, make better choices, make better decisions. And it's not your fault, even if you didn't make the right decision. It's not your fault if it didn't work out. I want to say that too, because I don't want to make it seem like, oh, for the people who did make decisions that they regret or did things that they shouldn't have did, it's not your fault. You didn't know. You see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know until you know. And usually you don't know right away. It take a minute for you to figure it out. So I don't blame you, boo. It is what it is. Hopefully you make the right decision next time. I think this girl, and it's crazy because I was just looking at something on TikTok regarding that. A girl, she said something that I thought was so interesting too. She said that your choices are portals. I could believe that too. Because there are two, like I'm telling y'all, there are two versions of yourself that is right there. They're waiting to be open, they're waiting to be accessed. What are you going to do? Whatever decision you make, it's either going to make you be your best self or it's going to make you stagnant. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. Like, either you going to make a decision that's going to be self-centered, where you're going to focus on yourself, focus on your dreams, focus on your desires. That's going to open up a door, open up an access way to where you can really live out a dream that you've had for a very long time. Or you're going to go a route to conform. And usually what happens is, if you listen to people, if you care about what people think, you're going to be comfortable. I mean, you're going to live a stagnation life. You're going to live a mediocre life, right? If you care about what people say, you are going to live a mediocre life. It's not a matter of how, it's a matter of when you are, right? If you have a people pleaser mentality, it's bound to happen, boo. You gonna be you trying to please everybody who says something negative about you. Who gives a fuck? You see what I'm saying? Who cares? Who really cares? Who cares? If you do those things, if you try to conform to what your mama said and your daddy said and your sister, auntie, cousin, right? And to all these people who have a perception of you that's not the desires of your heart, right? Then you are going to live a mediocre life. I tell people all the time, you know, you have to be prepared and ready to take ownership of your life. And you got to be okay with doing it. You cannot listen to people who are not doing something that you want to do. You see what I'm saying? It just does not make sense. Okay. Now, this is the end of this conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. I hope you got a little bit of something out of it. If you did, make sure you let the people know in the comments that you mess with it. I do want to start adding people to the podcast. So hopefully the next time we come around, we can have a guest on the podcast so we can start getting this ball rolling, because I think it's just it's better to have conversations with people regarding this, because excuse me, of course I've had my own perception of things, but I think having that one-on-one conversation with somebody to see their perspective on certain things, I think that really like just elevates a lot of content in a way. So yeah, your girl is trying to get some people on here. I've been, I'm gonna start emailing people, letting them know that I have a podcast so we can start getting the ball rolling. And yeah, guys, I'm excited. So hope y'all enjoyed the conversation.